Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the American Safeguard Insurance Studios. Your hosts, Matt McJunkins and Matt Wilcox, your source for Arkansas high school sports. You are now Between the Mats.
Welcome to Between the Mats. I am Matt McJunkins, and alongside me is the man, Matt Wilcox. How you doing, Matty?
What's up, Junk? We're back, baby.
Guess who's back?
It's been a while.
Oh, man, it's been a long while, but we've just been so busy.
Right.
Boy, life happened, didn't it?
Man, I'm telling you, like we had plans to do some things during the summer, and well, that didn't happen.
Oh.
They're like, hey, are we ever going to do this again? I'm like,
You got a kid that's playing ball
Right.
out of state, you know, at Oklahoma Christian, doing exceptionally well. So you've been a little hooked up.
Been a little hooked up.
There's some rumors I've heard that maybe you've been found on a few golf courses every week.
Rumors may be a little exaggerated, but, you know, that's banker's hours. You know?
That's right. I love it. Hey, I'm not going to lie. I've been playing a lot of golf too.
Yeah.
Playing some tournaments. It's just been nice lately. You know, it's not as hot.
Right.
But I'm pumped, man. Football's here.
Football is here, baby.
We've got a little different perspective ourselves with your son graduating.
Yeah.
I'm not doing the broadcast anymore for Greenbrier, so we've got a little different. I don't know if you'd say the chains are off because we're not so constrained with taking care of our responsibilities.
Right.
As you know, it can be more of just a general fan.
Sure. And, you know, we might not be as big a homer this year for the Panthers.
Well, when your son's playing, he tend to, you know, and they had a special team.
They did. It was a great year. I was, you know, it's fun to watch and proud to be a part of it. So,
hey, okay, so I'm gonna throw you. You know, one season I did a lot of jokes on the universities, right?
Right.
All right.
Yeah. How
year,
could I ever forget?
This year, you know, I'm a dad joke genius, right?
Oh, no, I did not know that.
Oh, yeah. So I'm going to start off with one tonight, though. This is dad joke in Espanol.
Oh, Lord.
So I'm watching the Cardinals game the other day, right? And this pitcher for the whoever they were playing, I forgot who it was. His name is N-O, and it's the E with the little slash above it that makes it Noe,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So his name is Noe. I don't remember if it's Hernandez or what, but anyway, if his middle name was Jose, he would be No Way Jose.
But it's not.
I don't know that it's not. I mean, I don't know that. I don't know what his middle name is. But if his parents didn't name him that, they missed a great opportunity.
True. Very true.
Dad joke, genius.
Yes.
In Espanol.
All right. So we're back Between the Mats for our third season, believe it or not.
People, got to give the people what they want.
So this one's going to be a little bit short and sweet. What we're going to do today is we're going to run through each of our top 10s, and then from here on out going forward, we'll put a top 10 together.
I'll be honest with you. I'm just not as prepared this year.
No?
It's not because it's not for lack of consideration. It's just I don't feel like I know the teams like I did last year.
I'm with you. I think we've been a little bit I don't know what you would say. I don't think we've been as involved.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
Maybe that's it.
And maybe the ones that we knew for so long, for so many years, are the kids that have graduated too.
Well, that, and there's been a lot of shakeup with conferences, and coaching changes, and all that. So
let me tell you, when it comes to picking top 10, that made a difference. That made it tougher for me because I'm like, they might could win They might could win this class too.
That's right.
But also, I'm like, can they compete?
Yeah.
You know,
there's a lot of unknowns going into this
year. There sure is.
All right. So do you want to start us in 2A?
Yeah. So 2A, you know, I like 2A because I'm an old Hornet from Mineral Springs. They lost a coach in the spring. I think he jumped ship and went to Dirks. And so they picked up another one, though. I think they're looking forward to – man, they got some great facilities. Yeah.
They didn't offer you the job.
Well, you know, they just knew my schedule wasn't going to work, you know.
Right.
They knew that I had a real big responsibility in the Pee Wee football realm.
I don't think they wanted to hear the dad jokes.
Man, they are missing out. All right, 2A. So who won last year? McCrory?
Yep.
Yeah, the Jaguars.
They did.
They'll be good this year, but that conference in that area over there, there's a couple conferences over there in that area just stacked.
Yeah.
And this year, I think it's going to go to Hazen.
Do you?
I got Hazen at number 1. Number 2, I've got the Eagles at Des Arc. I think they're going to be back and screaming again. Mount Ida at number 3 from over here in the southwest part of the state. Bigelow, I expect them to come with that defense like they've had the past several years. Maybe not as powerful offensively, but they had that class of sophomores that are seniors now.
They did.
Or were they seniors? No, they're seniors.
They were seniors last
year. Oh, were
year.
they? Okay, so most of those guys graduated.
But if you'll remember, they kind of got a raw deal last year in the playoffs.
Oh, they got hosed. Hosed. I saw the video
Yeah.
or a picture or something. I saw where they got hosed.
They did.
All right, so Bigelow 4, Poen at 5. Number 6, I was a little moving into the 11-man football realm from 8-man is Episcopal.
Yeah. Be anxious to see how that.
I am too.
That's the old Greenbrier boy coaching them.
Yeah, and he's done exceptionally well.
He has.
Baptist Prep at 7. McCrory, I've got them still up there in the top 10. I got them at 8. Hector, 9. And then I think Caleb Schock over at Carlisle is going to be having them boys ready to be a top 10 team this year as well. I got them at 10.
Good deal. We've got a lot of the same teams, a little bit different order. I'm with you, though. I think Hazen's going to get it done this year, led by senior quarterback Luke King. He's already got some D1 offers. Man, this kid is a beast, Junk. Like, he's 6'2", 215, squats like the house and benches the field house. I mean, he's strong as an ox and a good leader, works hard. They've also got 8 returning starters on offense and 9 on defense, so they'll be hard to beat. Got Mount Ida at number 2. They're returning 16 starters. Des Arc, the Eagles, I think you had them at 2, didn't you?
I do.
I got them at 3. Always got great tradition over there and good coach. Good coach, and that flex bone, it's a difference maker. I got Hector. I got them at number 4.
Oh, you got them on up there.
I do.
They came on late last year.
Mm-hmm. I think they're going to have a good year this year. Bigelow at number 5. I've got East Poinsett County making the top 10 at number 6.
APC.
They've got 16 returning starters and a senior quarterback in Carter Smith at the helm, so they'll be hard to handle this year. Number 7, McCrory. They do have a new coach coming in, taking over this state championship team from last year. They're only returning 9 starters off that team, but good experience there coming back. Got Clarendon at number 8. Clarendon's always athletic and fast, and they'll be in the mix. Number 9.
They got a receiver that's real special.
Do they? Number 9, Baptist Prep, who is dropping down from 3A. I think, dropping down a classification. They should be hard to handle.
And they competed last year.
They did. And then number 10, I got the Bisons from Carlisle as well. So
oh, yeah.
He's got 18 returning starters this year. So they had a rough season last year, but that experience is hard to replace.
It is. It is. And his time's coming. He was a young guy that took over a program that was a powerhouse that went from that to a struggle bus, kind of like Barton went through.
Sure.
And so he came in there as a young guy with a great opportunity. It's just a matter of time before he builds that thing back up.
Oh, I think so too. All right, so 3A we go. And number 1 this year in week 0, I've got the Boonville. Man, they're just
the Bearcats.
I think that's right.
I think they are the Bearcats.
Anyway, they get it done every year. Like they're just you talk about tradition.
Oh yeah,
they've got it over there, and they run the flex bone too. They're returning 7 starters on offense, 8 on defense from a team that went 13-1 last year and lost in the semis. So I've got Boonville on top this year. That
conference is different now. Paris isn't in that conference with them anymore.
A little bit different conference. They mixed it up. And then I've got number 2. I've got Charleston, who's led by 2-time All-State quarterback Brandon Scott. They got 16 returning starters there. Charleston's always got a good program, good teams. Number 3, the Curly Wolves from Prescott. Man, they've just been dominant these last 3 years, and the coaching gets it done down there. And then they've also got a all-conference quarterback in Karsten Poole that's a really good player for them. Number 4, Melbourne, the Bearcats, returning 18 starters from last year, and a senior all-conference quarterback in Trey Wren at the helm. Number 5, Canman Harmony Grove. I think they'll be tough to beat again this year. They're always in the mix. Number 6, Hoxie, looking for their 3rd straight conference title. They've got good experienced linemen. Number 7, Glen Rose. Man, you talking about a team that plays with an edge.
You're liable to get in a fight when you play that.
When you play Glen Rose, you better strap your helmet on tight.
For sure.
Number 8, Newport. They bounced back from an uncharacteristic 6-win season. They do have a new coach over in Brian Reardon, but I think Newport will have a better year this year. Number 9, Walnut Ridge is a team that we don't necessarily always have in our top 10, but I think they're going to have a good year this year. And then number 10, Rising.
So, man, I'm telling you, 3A really moved around the conferences.
They did.
I mean, like you got Boonville and Charleston in a conference together. Now you got Newport over there with Quitman and Atkins and Perryville. It's a long ways from Newport to Perryville.
Yeah.
And then Melbourne's in that conference. I mean, yeah, it's a big mix-up. But I'm going to let you know right now, number 1 in the conference is going to be the Prescott Curly Wolves. Oh, Brian Glass has got it going on down there. And Carson Poole, son, I'm putting it on the money right now.
Hey, listen, who's to argue with that? I mean, if you look at the last 2 or 3 years, you kind of be crazy not to put them in.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, they had some unfortunate injuries late in the season last year. But I'm going to tell you, Coach Glass knows how to coach those kids up down there. He does. And he's got more talent that comes through that area. I mean, just athlete after athlete. You watch their track season, you can see how good they are in football.
Yeah, that's right.
But, yeah, I got them at number 1. Number 2, hey, and I got to admit it could go either way because Boonville is that good. Yeah. We see it every year. When I was a senior in high school, they won the state championship to beat Nashville in a really tight game. Boonville, they're going to be hard to beat. Number 3, Glen Rose. I'm like you, Matt. I think they're going to be tough. They're going to be physical. Number 4, I've got Charleston. It seemed like Charleston was supposed to be maybe not their normal top 2 or 3 team, but I don't know why you would think that.
Yeah.
It's Charleston.
It's Charleston.
And look what they got back. Number 5, I got Hoxie. 6, I got Camden Harmony Grove coming up there. I think they're going to shock some people this year. 7, Fordyce. I think they're going to be very competitive. 8, I've got Paris. Paris they put out a good team every year. I think they're going to be competitive again. I got Rising at 9. They were down in numbers last year.
They were.
And they maybe this year, I don't know, but they're going to put a football team out there that's going to compete. And then I'm like you, I got Melbourne in the top 10, man. I got them at number 10.
Awesome.
Could be higher.
Yeah.
Just wanted to introduce them this week.
Absolutely.
Because they're a program that's on the rise.
I agree with you. Very good, my man. You want to take us through 4A, your favorite conference?
I love 4A, and I really love this number 1 team I got this year. And I'm pulling for them because I like them. Now, give me number 2. I got a lot of friends over there too, so I'm pulling for them. But number 1, I've got Arkadelphia. I got the Badgers. I'm a big Donovan Witten fan. I think I'm a big coach. I just lost it. Shucker, Trey Shucker fan. I like those guys down there, and I think Donovan's special.
He's a very good football player.
This kid is. He's not just talented; he's a winner. Yeah. He looks to me. He reminds me kind of a Brett Favre, maybe a little better decision maker. But he's just a winner.
Yeah.
And so I've got them at number 1. I got number 2. I've got Harding Academy, and let me tell you, this team could win the whole thing.
Very well.
You could put them in just about any classification; they'll compete.
Yeah.
They're going to be hard to beat, and Neil over there has got them playing at a high level, and he's gonna have them prepared this year. I don't believe that. And I don't know how many people know this. I don't know if it's out for sure yet or not, but I don't think their quarterback's coming back.
Oh, really?
Smith.
Oh, wow.
I don't think he's playing this year.
That would have changed my ranking, I guarantee you.
I've heard that.
Okay, wow.
Number 3, I've got Warren. I got the Lumberjacks. Number 4, I've got the Panthers from Ashdown. I think they're going to make some noise this year. Going to be in that conference with Arkadelphia, but still could be right up there at the top. Of course, that's the SEC of the 4A with Nashville and Malvern and all those.
Hey, and they got one of the best players in the state.
They do,
so
100%. He was a signee last year, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Or commitment. Commit. Yeah. So he'll be on the up and up again this year. 5, Stuttgart. They're going to be tough to beat. The Rice Birds. Number 6. I bet you got the Rice Birds up there higher than 5.
Yeah, a little bit.
Number 6. The whole is it the Hillbillies over at Ozark?
Yep.
They're going to be good. They got that Massengale kids back. Malvern, I've got them at 7. Pocahontas at 8. Rivercrest at 9, and I've got Star City at number 10.
All right, very good. My top 10 for 4A, the Badgers from Arkadelphia at number 1. I'm with you. I think, we got to see them up close and personal last year as they came to Greenbrier and played us tooth and nail down to the wire. It was a great ball game. But I'm with you. Donovan Winton is a special football player. He's hard-nosed. He's tough. He's smart. He knows the game, and he just makes all the throws. And he can also pick it up with his feet because nobody wants to tackle that big old sucker.
Oh, he's a big dude, isn't he?
He's a big old cat.
A big lad.
That's right. So number 2, I do have the Harding Academy Wildcats. But now I'm gonna tell you something. If their quarterback's not coming back, that's a big loss for them. Of course, I know he's a big baseball guy. So
huge baseball guy.
That's
I think he's already committed, hasn't he?
I think so. But that's who I've got at number 2. Number 3, I have Warren. They're returning 5 starters on offense, 8 on defense. And next to them, I just have Tradition. They're going to be good every single year. In my opinion, it's probably arguable, but I think he's one of the best coaches in the state without question.
I think so too.
Number 4, Stuttgart, the Rice Birds. I do have them a little higher than you. I've got them at 4. I think this is the class, if I'm not mistaken. When they were 9th graders, they went undefeated, and this was kind of the class.
And that team that was ahead of them didn't win a game.
That's right.
And then the next year, it all changed.
It did all change. And I think this bunch is seniors this year. So they got Cedric Hawkins at All-State running back coming back, and they're returning all 5 starting linemen. So they should be able to run the football this year. Number 5, the Hillbillies of Ozark. I've got them. They're looking to win their 4th conference title in the last 5 years. And number 6, I have Star City. They're led by senior all-conference quarterback Mason Taylor. Number 7, Ashdown. I've got Ashdown down a little bit further. Only reason being is they're only returning 2 starters on defense, but I'm sure some of those kids will be going both ways. You have Shamar Easter down there that we talked a little bit about. And then,
TE1.
And then Caden Winfrey also. He's a stud wide receiver for him. Number 8, Pocahontas. Had a 9-win team last year, and they're led by their senior quarterback, Connor Baker. They're returning 16 starters. Number 9, Rivercrest, who's had some really good teams. They've won 6 of the last 7 conference championships. And then Malvern at number 10.
All right, so that gets us to 5A, and this is your conference or your class.
Used to be until my Panthers moved up.
Oh, that's right. It's not you anymore, is it?
Not anymore. All right, so 5A, a little bit of shakeup in 5A and 6A this year. We've got quite a few teams that moved down and up, and the first one starting out in 5A is a team that dropped down in classification but is loaded with talent, and that's the Parkview Patriots. Dropped from 6A down to 5A, and
they're kind of like Warren. They're a factory.
They are a factory. I think they've got 4 or 5 kids on this team that could probably play D1 football.
I think they got 4 or 5, or maybe 4 listed in the top 50 in the state.
Yeah, it's unreal. And not to mention, they have Bobby Bowling, who took the Whitehall Bulldogs to the state finals last year as the head coach.
Yeah,
is now their defensive coordinator, and so. If his brother will let him actually call the defense.
So that's really interesting too, because it seemed like, and I don't know that I heard this, but it seemed like I might even heard that he was retiring, and that's why he was leaving, maybe taking a job as more of an administrator or something. And surprise.
That's right. And
brother, let me tell you, them guys, when it's in their blood like that, they can't get out. They can talk all they want. They can't get away from it.
Of course, his brother's the head coach. His dad was a coach. It's just it's in their family genes, man. That's what they do.
Yeah, that's crazy.
All right, number 2. So I've got a team at number 1 that moved down at number 1, and on number 2, I've got a team that moved up in Robinson.
Can you imagine? I mean, you're talking a huge gap there.
That's right. So I've got Robinson at number 2. They won 2 of the last 3 3A state championships, but they're only returning 6 starters, so they've got some big shoes to fill there, but they're loaded with talent, and it's just like they reload every year. Number 3, another team that bumps up in classification. So my top 3 are 3 teams that weren't in the 5A last year. Number 3, Shiloh Christian, led by 2-time All-State quarterback Eli Wisdom.
He's a good little quarterback.
He's a good one. Number 4, the Win Yellow Jackets. They're only returning 7 starters, but they do have some depth at running back, and, man, they're always solid.
They're always fast.
Defensively, man, they'll hit you in the mouth.
Yeah, they run the flex bone.
They do.
Yeah.
Number 5, another flex bone team in Magnolia. They're returning 14 starters, senior quarterback and senior running back B.J. Curry. Man, this team, they're so dangerous because they're so fast and so athletic. If they can just hold on to the football, not put it on the ground, they're hard to beat.
Right. And you've got to be able to contain them, because if they get outside on you, you're done.
That's right. Number 6, Camden Fairview, led by senior quarterback Martavius Thomas.
That kid's good.
He's a good athlete. He's committed
all around. Didn't he lead the state last year in yards?
Close to it.
I think so.
Yeah. He's committed to play baseball for the Hogs.
Isn't that wild?
It's wild. Number 6. Or no, it was number 6. Number 7, Harrison Goblins, the Golden Goblins.
Oh, well, we got the same one there.
Yeah. You know who the head coach is there?
I do. Mr. Keelan.
That's right.
Is it Kyle?
I can't remember his first name, but he coached at Riverview for a couple years.
Yeah, because he went over there because his son was over there. I guess he still is at Harding.
Yeah.
Cole. Cole is his son that's over there. But I saw that he was back at Harrison.
Got the opportunity to go back. Yeah, they'll always be well coached, a stingy defense, talented offensive line with this bunch, so they'll be in the mix. Number 8, another 5A West team in Farmington that had a really good season under J.R. Eldridge last year. This will be his 3rd year with this team. Look for them to make some noise in the 5A. Number 9, Nettleton, who's always loaded with athletes and talent and speed. They are returning 4 starters on offense, 5 on defense. They will have a sophomore starting at quarterback, but he has some weapons to throw to. And then number 10, Valley View, returning 10 starters.
All right, so we've got a few little differences here. Number 1, man, I was a little hesitant to do this just because it's a big jump. But man, I've got the Saints of Shiloh Christian.
Wow,
I've got them at number 1. They're going to be good. They're going to miss Caden Henley.
They are.
We could see that kid playing in really soon as a Razorback. But there's another Henley coming up that I'm curious to see if he's going to have the same abilities as big brother. I think he looks like he might end up being bigger than his brother, but I think he'll be a good football player too. Cooper Dar, fantastic defensive end.
Yeah.
They're just going to be good at every position. Yeah. They're just a factory, well coached. Number 2, and this team right here put it on them last year in the finals, and that's Joe T. Robinson. Robinson's going to be good again. And it's funny that I have 2 4A schools as the top 2 in 5A. Number 3, I've got that 6A that dropped down Parkview, and this one here could be number 1. You just never know.
Sure.
But they're definitely going to be loaded with talent. Now, this number 4 might surprise you a little bit, and I might be a little wishful thinking because I like them. I'm pulling for them. When you provide top level facilities for kids, and you get a strong coaching staff, it may take time, but at some point you're going to see success, and I think that's what Farmington's doing. They've got some of the best facilities in the state.
They do.
Unbelievable stadium, and as Clint, my 9-year-old, says, they're the best stadium in the country because they have Chick-fil-A.
Absolutely.
That's what he says. It's his favorite stadium. But they've got the great stadium. They got the indoor facility, and then, Eldridge.
Proven winner.
So, if they can get the dudes, and last year they were young.
They were.
And they were very competitive.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be shocked to see them be in the top 10, and I've even got them in the top 5 there at 4. Number 5, Win. They're just there every year. You just expect them to go over there and dominate the East.
Yeah.
And they did last year.
Yeah.
And I think we'll see that again this year. The Valley View played them a little tougher.
Yeah.
But they never was in question, I don't think.
And, especially the last few years, Batesville being down.
They are.
Usually Batesville was one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the East, and them would win, and they'd always slug it out. But Batesville's a little bit down right now.
They are. New coach this year?
Yeah, new coach.
Yeah. And I saw they scrimmaged or had a benefit game with Greenbrier the other night. Number 6, I think we both had Camden Fairview at 6. Yep. I've got Fairview at 6. That quarterback Martavius, unbelievable. They're going to be special. Number 7, I've also got the Goblins at 7.
Very nice.
Number 8, I've got Magnolia. Where did you have them? You had them at 5?
I had them at 5, yeah.
The Panthers down there, man, they're going to be good. These top 10 here within 5A could go in a lot of different directions. But then you get down here to number 9, and I've got Prairie Grove stepping up in there.
There you go.
That's another one that was a 4A, right?
Yep.
Up there with Shiloh in that conference.
Sure was.
Beat a lot of people. I think they can compete. 5A in some ways is not near as strong.
Yeah.
Now, they got stronger in some ways because of what they had come up. But when you lose teams like Pulaski Academy and you lose teams like Little Rock Christian and Greenbrier, then you lost some studs.
That's right.
And I think some of the better teams are not as good this year. I think Valonia's going to be down.
Yeah.
They're like Greenbrier. They lost a truckload of seniors.
Sure.
But then I've got this one might shock you here at number 10. I got the Devil Dogs. I think they're going to be a little better this year. I think I got them at number 10. I got Morton.
Good deal. Old Devil Dogs. All right, so take us through 6A, my man.
All right, number 1 here, and this one, this one was kind of tough for me because, and basically I did this just out of pure respect. Number 1, I went with Greenwood. Do I think number 2, the Pulaski Academy Bruins might win the whole thing? Absolutely. But just because Greenwood's been there, they're the 6A dominant.
Giving them the respect.
I'm giving their respect, but, man, that program down there in Little Rock sure is special. And, hey, and I got a cousin, old Trevor Duke. Yeah. He's going to be
a senior, won't he?
He is a senior.
Wow.
Starting center. He's he's like 6'4", he's a big kid.
Is he really?
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm going to try to go down there,
yeah.
Which Greenbrier plays down there this year.
Yeah.
So I can go to that one, but I may even try to pick up another one. Like I said, we got a little more freedom this year.
Mm-hmm.
But I've got them number 2, could be number 1. Number 3, El Dorado. I think they're going to be pretty good.
State champions last year.
Yeah, and what's the quarterback? Was it what was his name?
Oh, yeah, what was he?
I can't believe I'm going blank. Sherman Rester. Yeah. Is he graduated?
Yeah, he's playing at Lamar.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, good. Well, he was special.
Yeah.
I've got number 4. I've got the Panthers down at Benton.
Okay.
They're going to be pretty good as well. One of my old Mineral Springs people,
old Pearson.
Old Donovan Pearson.
Yeah.
He's a special kid. I expect him to make some noise this year. Number 5, Little Rock Christian. I don't know a lot about them, but you just kind of always expect them to be in the hunt. Number 6, Lake Hamilton. They're going to run that wing tee, and they're going to be hard to stop.
Mm-hmm.
Number 7, Sylvan Hills. They're going to run that flex bone, and they're going to be hard to stop. They tend to bring a really strong defense every year. If they can show up with that defense this year, again, they'll be in the hunt. Cersei, I've got them at number 8. A little unproven, but I think they got a good coach over there, and I think they're in the right direction. Mountain Home at number 9.
Okay.
The Bombers.
Yeah.
I kind of just got lost here when I got towards the end.
You just wanted to say the Bombers.
I did. I just wanted to say the Bombers. And you know what I did? I accidentally picked Mountain Home twice. Oh, no. I picked Cersei twice. So I got to come up with another 6A. And I will go with Marion.
Yep.
I'm going to go Marion number 10.
That's a good one. All right. So number 1 for me is the Pulaski Academy Bruins. I went with the 5A team bumping up to 6A. Man, they just the culture and what they've created over there with Coach Lucas taking over. They proved they didn't have any drop off last year. They did lose a bunch off of last year's state championship team, and they are bumping up a class. But as we saw as they scrimmaged against Bryant, that they're still going to be very, very good.
Oh man, yeah, you don't want to play them.
No, they're just so unorthodox. They just do things so much different offensively. It's hard to prepare for that.
And you've said this before. It's like a machine.
It is.
When you have done something the exact same way since you were in the 5th grade, you do it well.
That's right. Number 2, I do have the Bulldogs of Greenwood tradition, and I've never really heard this until Cooper was going through the recruiting process. My son Cooper and the coach down there at Central Oklahoma told him this. He said we call it the rule of 21. And I said, Cooper said, well, what does that mean? He said, we say that if you don't have the one, the other 21 don't matter. And he's
There's a lot of truth to that.
And he's talking about the quarterback.
That's right. That's right.
And you know, I never really thought of it that way. But if you don't have a guy that pulls the trigger and make the the right reads and right calls and get you in the right place, it's hard to win ball games. I'm not saying that you can't, but he's a very important process.
Oh, absolutely. And you see every year some of the best athletes in the country at some smaller schools in Arkansas. Their teams aren't that great,
right?
Because they don't have anybody can give them the ball.
That's right. And so the reason I bring that up when I talk about Greenwood is you have a kid and their quarterback that probably Hunter Houston probably going to play D1, and then you've got the ninth grade quarterback that's rated as the top quarterback in the country in his class. So they're in pretty good shape.
They got the two.
Yeah, that's right. All right, number 3, I do have the Panthers from Benton at number 3. They're always going to have athletes. They are a little bit unproven at quarterback this year as they lost their senior quarterback from last year's team. They do get a heck of a move in running back Braylon Russell that moved in from Lakeside that's already committed to the Hogs. And then, of course, you got Donovan Pearson, who we talked about just a little bit ago.
Yeah.
Number 4, I've got Marion, the Patriots, at number 4. They returned 13 starters this year. They're athletic, well-coached. I think that Marion's going to shock some people this year. Number 5, I have El Dorado. They've only got 7 returning off that state championship team, but one of those is DeAndre Burns. He might be one of the best receivers in the state, and so that's a matchup problem for anybody. Number 6, Little Rock Christian. I'm with you. I don't really know how this jump's going to affect them. Obviously, in 5A, they were in the top 1 or 2 every single year, so I still think they're going to compete. They've got a D1 quarterback. I just don't know what they've got around him.
Was the Dyer kid, was he a senior last year?
He was.
Okay,
yeah.
so he's gone.
Yeah, he's gone.
But yeah, that quarterback was a sophomore
last
year.
year. Yep. He's a big kid. Number 7, I have the Cersei Lions, just for the simple fact that, Coach Zach Clark has been, what is this, his 3rd year now?
Oh, it's just a second.
Is this his second?
I think so, yeah.
But I think this is the only, out of the last 5 years, I think this is the first time they've had a coach for 2 years.
Yes, it is. It stayed there.
So,
and they were a state championship team, what, 4 or 5 years ago?
4 or 5 years
4 years ago, I
yeah.
think.
Yeah, so it's
wasn't Shucker there as
the offensive
coordinator? Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah. So I think just continuity of having the same system and the same coach will help them. And you got all-state running back D.D. Johnson coming back, which
it helps.
Yeah.
He was special.
Yeah, it helps. Number 8, Sylvan Hills, extremely well coached. Flexbone is a great equalizer, as we've talked about, and they will always play good defense over there. Number 9, I have Lake Hamilton. I'm not real sure. I know Lake Hamilton has been really good the last 2 years. I do think they take a little bit of dip this year, but they're still going to be good.
Yeah.
And then number 10, I've got Russellville as number 10.
What?
Yeah, I think Russellville is going to surprise a few folks this year. They do have a big sophomore class, and I just think they're going to play better this year.
Think they're going to be number 10, do you?
I do.
All right. Well, I'm going to go. Oh, I've already given you mine, haven't I? And it's your turn to do 7A.
It is.
So, man, 7A was tough for me.
It was tough for me too.
Yeah.
To me, and we talked about this last year, I think it's the top 5, and then
everybody else.
I
am interested to see what Jonesboro does.
do think there's a little more parity this year, but
Yeah.
not quite as much as
Right.
the rest of the classification. So 7A, number 1, of course, the Bryan Hornets, who've won 4 state championships in a row, going for number 5 this year.
Is this the year the Wampus Cats get them?
Could be. You never know. Bryant offensively, they've been really good the last 4 years offensively.
Sure.
Well, now defensively this year they're returning 10 starters.
But didn't they have like the best sophomore class last year they've ever had? Or
I think
something?
that's what they said. Yeah. The rich keep getting richer at Bryant.
Yeah.
So, and then number 2, I do have the Wampus Cats from Conway, led by, I guess he'd be a junior this year, Amalo.
Donovan.
and then senior running back Boogie Carr. So,
man, you talk about a fun offense to watch.
yes,
Especially, last year it was fun. Of course, they had
Manny. Yeah.
And then 2 years ago they had Briceville. And so they've got every year they've got a couple of special guys. And this year Boogie Carr is fun, electric.
Yes.
And then Donovan is pretty special. He was, as a sophomore, he was doing some things that were and I understand they've got a younger kid that he moved, didn't he? The kid that was, where'd he go?
North Little Rock.
Is he going to be starting there?
I think he'll push him. But, I think
they had another quarterback that was a ninth grader that was going to be going to push Donovan.
Yeah.
So I'm all special, and I'm glad that we're going to get to see him for a couple more years.
I'm really anxious to see his growth from I think he started every game as a sophomore last year.
He did.
That experience as a sophomore quarterback is invaluable.
Unbelievable.
So I'm really excited to see his growth.
Cool as a cucumber.
Yes, he is. Number 3, the Bentonville Tigers, who are always up there in the top 3 or 4. Had a little bit of a letdown last year come playoff time.
They weren't quite as strong.
No, but they're still always up there. They returned 8 starters off of last year's team. They'll rely on the legs of senior All-State running back Josh Ficklin, who is special running back. Number 4, Fayetteville. They're returning 7 on offense, 8 on defense.
Purple Dogs were the reason that Bentonville wasn't as
That's right.
salty up there last year in that conference.
So I got Fayetteville at 4. Number 5, North Little Rock. Coach Sandifer over there did a great job with them last year. This will be his second season at the helm there. They returned 9 starters off a 10-win team. Number 6, I got Northside. Number 7, Bentonville West, who I think is supposed to be a lot better this year. They're returning 16 starters, experienced junior quarterback and lots of talent at skill positions. Number 8, I have Harbor. Number 9, Cabot, and number 10, Rogers.
Well, you weren't that far off. And number 1, I do have Bryant. I got the Hornets down there. It's hard to argue with the 212.
Yeah, that's right.
Coach Buck James has really got something special. And, with the way the school systems are set up now, it's legal, but it's worked to their advantage where people can move in and, and so, which kind of, it's interesting because now it might make the whole, the complaints about the private schools, it might, level that out a little bit.
May do it. We'll see.
Yeah. So I got Conway number 2. Listen, at some point they're going to beat them.
You would think so.
But, man, they're going to be fun to watch. I'm looking forward to watching Amalo and Carr and the rest of those. Coach, is it Fimble?
Yep.
Yeah, his bunch over there. And then number 3, I got the Purple Dogs over at Fayetteville at number 3. Then number 4, I've got North Little Rock. Number 5, I've got Cabot. Number 6, I've got Bentonville. But to give respect, Josh Ficklin's a special running back, and you could easily see them in the top 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Number 7, I got Bentonville West. I think they're going to make a run, to push towards that back end there. And then, I just think that Jonesboro is going to be able to compete, and when they move up, especially in that lower end. Yeah, Jonesboro's good every year.
They are,
and some of those teams in the 7A don't know that they could go down 6A and really dominate. Sure. I think they're going to be just among the rest of them. Number 9, I've got Harbor. I think Harbor got a little better last year. Mm-hmm. Expect them to improve this year. And then number 10, I've got Springdale.
Okay, very good.
I tell you what, we thought this might be a short one, but man, we spent like 35 minutes on top 10.
Hey, baby, just getting back.
That's right, getting back in the swing. So you want to run through a few little players here?
Sure.
Just before we do our picks.
Yeah, let's do it.
And then I go home and eat.
Start us off.
Yeah. All right. So you mentioned it a while ago. A couple players I wanted to bring attention to is in Greenwood, Hunter Houston, that quarterback over there, and then he's got a special receiver in Aiden Kennan, and so a couple of guys that I think you could really look out for this year are those two there at Greenwood. Hey, a couple of kids at Greenbrier who obviously everybody in the state is familiar with Carter McElhaney. He is a soft commit, I think, maybe a verbal commit to Air Force.
Yep.
Kind of waiting to see what else happens, though. And then Miles Miller, I'm going to tell you, he's going to be a big target for them this year. And I think if they can get the ball to him, he'll make McElhaney's life a lot better.
Yeah, and man, Miles is one of those kids, and you saw it up close and personal because you were on the coaching staff of the Pee Wee team.
Yeah.
That kid's just football IQ is off the charts.
Yeah, he just got it before anybody else did.
That's right. You know, a couple of names that pop out to me, 7A defensively. You got Braden Jones over in Bentonville West. Kid run, I think, a 4.3 at the Razorback camp as a linebacker. He's just a special athlete. And then, Brooks Urachek over at Fayetteville.
Yeah, I had him on my list too.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see. He's in the top 50, I want to say, recruiting in the state. I'm with you there. Linebacker at Fayetteville.
You think he might have a connection to the Hogs?
Man, I wonder if he can get me a signed helmet. Yeah.
You jump down to 6A and some of the names that pop out. Of course, you mentioned Hunter Houston. We've already talked about D.D. Johnson. Jalen McKinney over at Pulaski Academy. You know, he kind of played second fiddle last year to what was the running back at PA last year? That's at Northwestern.
Oh, yeah. Why'd you ask me? I'd been over to tell you.
I've just gone completely blank. But anyway, it'll be Jalen McKinney's show this year, and I think he'll have the spotlight. You've got DeAndre Burns down in El Dorado. You know, him and McElhaney are – I think they were 1-2 in the 100 and the 6A state, and so those kids can fly.
Is he a receiver also?
Yeah, he is.
Hey, also, Van Buren's not typically one of the bright spots in 6A football, but Malachi Henry's a good receiver, and he's going to be one to really keep your eye on this year.
Sure. All right, some that pop out down in 5A. Of course, we talked about Eli Wisdom.
Yep, he's on my list. So is Curry.
Yeah, another one that the team's probably not top 10 material, but Jabray Shaw at Mills, kid, he's a special athlete.
He is. Hey, you mentioned that kid from PA, but they've also got a kid on the other side of the ball, Romello Bell, that is electric.
Yeah,
I thought he was a D end. Somewhere I saw he was a linebacker. I'm not sure. I just remember he was real good. Cooper Dar up at Shiloh Christian.
Yep.
Let me tell you, Cooper's going to have the opportunity to play football somewhere in the next level. And I'm going to tell you, watching him, he's kind of a man among boys physically, and he plays with. When I teach my kids on defense to use their hands and to be, I'm trying to think of the word now. I'm going blank. Violent.
Yeah.
You know, you think of just being violent with your hands. And when I watched Cooper play last year, he just had the ability to. I mean, this is a kid that sings in the choir. I mean, he's a good kid. You know, a good personality, bubbly. You know. But when he gets on a football field, you know, he flips the switch, and he's just a violent, hard-nosed football player.
Yeah. A couple more on the defensive side. We talked about this, about Parkview. Got Tavion Henry's a D-back, top 25 recruit. And then you look over at Pine Bluff, Blake Hedgewood, another D-back that's a very good football player over there at 5A.
Yeah. So at Bentonville, you know, we talked about Josh Ficklin, but they got an offensive lineman over there that's like top few in the state. That Sua kid, Joey Sua. So
moved in from California or something?
Is that right?
I think that's right.
But he's a big old boy.
Yes, he is.
Hey, Karsten Poole, we mentioned him earlier down at Prescott. He's going to be one that's going to turn some heads. Of course, Shamar Easter down there, right down the road in Ashdown. Eli Massengale over in Ozark.
Yep.
We've got a lot of running backs this year that are going to be impressive to watch.
We do, no doubt about it. We give some offensive linemen some love here. You just mentioned one, Joey Sua. How about Johnny Barnes down in Booneville? Have to be pretty good to play offensive line on that flex bone.
You got to be quick.
You do. And then Eli Sharp and Dirks, heck of a player.
They got a few that are going to be pretty salty.
Yeah. Mentioned Luke King. Really excited to see him play his senior year. But, just wish all these kids success.
Yeah, 100%.
And health. Man, I just tell you.
That's it, man. Just stay healthy.
Dadgummit, I had a really good friend of mine, daughter, already committed to play volleyball at UCA. First game of her senior season last night.
Last night?
Thinks may have tore her ACL.
Where at?
At Greenbrier.
Really?
Yeah. So she's got her MRI tomorrow, so praying for her. But
100%.
man, I just wanted to throw up when she went down last night.
Absolutely.
These kids work so hard to get to their senior season, and all the time and effort they put into it, and man, to just have that ripped away from you like that is just heartbreaking.
Yeah. It's a test of faith.
It is.
But usually it usually ends up okay.
Yeah. That's right.
That's right. All right, let's do some picks.
Oh, man.
You remember last year when I spanked you, little honey?
How could I forget? I mean,
let's just say if we were sharing a room in a hotel, you'd be the little spoon.
We even though we may not have been doing the podcast, I got a text about every week. Said, hey, you remember the picks last year?
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, so we'll start number 1. We got Conway Christian going to Quitman. I've got Quitman by 14.
As do I. Good sir. 14 points.
Very good start for Between the Mats.
Yeah.
Number 2, I got Atkins going to Bigelow. Should be a good ball game here, but I've got Bigelow by 7.
My boss told me that he dated a girl one time from Bigelow.
Oh, yeah?
He did, so I gave him the nod.
It depends on which boss you're talking about.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We were talking about today about the matchup, and Touchdown Sim says that it wasn't even going to be a game, but I said, hey, let me tell you, Bigelow is going to play some defense, so I got him by 10.
Okay. Number 3, Magnet Cove and Poen. What a great matchup starting out the gate. I've got the Indians by 3.
I got him by 16, man.
Dang, 3 out of 3 already. Number 4, Harding Academy, who's moved up a classification, going to play Valley View.
Didn't Valley View beat them last year?
No, Harding pulled it.
It was the.
No, I think you're right.
I thought that was their only loss.
I think Valley View got them at the very
end. Yeah.
Yeah. I've got Harding in this one by 1.
Is that before you found out their quarterback?
It was definitely before I found out.
I got Harding by 12.
Okay. Number 5, Glen Rose at Crossett. I've got Glen Rose by 1.
I got him by 4.
Okay. Number 6, Barton at DeWitt. I've got DeWitt by 13.
I've got DeWitt by 8.
Okay. Number 7, Cedarville going to Perryville. The Battle of the Villes. I've got Perryville by 4.
I do too.
Wow.
Jeff
incredible.
McGee over there at Perryville.
Yep.
It's for you, big dog.
Number 8, Newport going to Osceola. Should be a good matchup. I'm going to go with Osceola by 3.
Oh, but I believe you had Newport in your top 10.
I did.
I'm going Newport by 7.
Okay. All right. I've got number 9. We got Camden Harmony Grove versus Junction City, who Junction City has moved up a classification.
They have.
But I do have Camden Harmony Grove in this one by 7.
I got them by 10.
Okay. Number 10, Monticello at Fordyce. Fordyce moving up to 3A as well this year. Monticello still 4A. I've got Monticello by 3.
I got Fordyce by 12.
Oh, man. Big difference there.
Might not know what I was talking about.
Or maybe I don't.
It can go either way.
Number 11, Pocahontas at Batesville Southside. I've got Pocahontas by 17.
I got Pocahontas by 8, but let me tell you, and I think Pocahontas is supposed to be pretty good this year, but, Southside last year.
They made some noise. They did. Big Stuttgart.
You got Pocahontas by 17?
Yeah.
Great.
And Batesville Southside getting their Coach Kenny Simpson. He left to go to Searcy.
Yeah.
Now he's back.
Okay.
So, yeah. All right, number 12, Arkadelphia is going to Camden Fairview. Man, this will be a fun ball game. I do have the Badgers in this one by 10.
I've got the Badgers by 6. This is the one last year. Camden beat up on them, didn't they?
Yeah, I believe so. I'd have to go back and look. Number 13, I've got Clarksville at Ozark. I got Ozark by 6.
I think you skipped one.
That's the one we knocked out of there.
Well, that's why you skipped it.
Yep.
I got Ozark by 10. Did you pick Clarksville?
No.
Ozark by 6?
Yep.
Okay, I got Ozark by 10.
Okay. Number 14, Warren at Stuttgart. Man, what a ball game.
Yeah.
I've got Warren by 6.
I really thought you would have picked Stuttgart, but I've got Warren by 4.
Okay. Number 15, Lone Oak at Central Arkansas Christian. Lone Oak's got their quarterback's a special
Yeah,
player. And
he is.
And he's just going to be a junior this year.
Yeah.
But I've got Lone Oak by 14 in this one.
I've got CAC by 4.
Okay.
And I have no idea what's going to happen in that one.
Nor do I. Number 16, I've got Van Buren at Alma. I'm going to go with the Pointers in this one by 10.
I went with the Pointers by 6.
Okay. Number 17, Maumelle at Sylvan Hills. Oh, Carter Bertram is the new offense coordinator at Maumelle.
Is he really?
Yeah, sure is.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, but I am going with Sylvan Hills by 8.
Okay, I'm going with Sylvan Hills by 14.
Number 18, Robinson at Pulaski Academy. What a ball game.
Well, last year it was really lopsided.
It was. I think it's going to be a closer ball game this year, but I am going PA by 10.
I went PA by 18.
Okay, number 19, Russellville at Morrilton. Just right up the road, 15-minute drive. Pretty good rivalry here, but I'm going to go with Russellville by 17.
Yeah, because you think they're a top 10 team.
I do.
I'm going with Morrilton by 4.
Okay.
Devil Dog.
Number 21. Now, they are playing at Morrilton, so that should help. Number 21, 20, Marion at Wynn. I'm going to go Marion in this one by 3.
Really? This was close last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
I'm going Win by 6.
Okay. And number 21, Valonia Eagles traveling down to Hot Springs. I'm going Hot Springs by 6.
I'm going to go with Valonia by 3.
Okay.
I'm gonna give the Eagles
A little benefit of the doubt.
I think Hot Springs is down, and Valonia's still going to be competitive.
Oh, yeah. They're very well coached. Number 22, Fayetteville at Cabot. I'm going Fayetteville by 7.
I'm going Fayetteville by 4.
Okay. Number 23, Fort Smith Southside at Fort Smith Northside. The battle of the Fort Smiths.
Yeah, and you picked Northside in your top 10.
I picked Northside to win by 3.
I picked Southside by 8.
All right. And number 24, the Salt Bowl.
Oh, the Salt Bowl. Maybe it'll be on TV. I bet it is.
We had to put this one in here, even though
it's probably the game of the week, even though it's probably not the game of the week.
Right.
But I mean, you never know. I mean, it's not that. It's not if it's not close. It's not because there's not 2 outstanding football teams on the field.
That's right. It's just Bryant's been so deadgum good the last 4 years.
Yeah, they are, and they're big.
They're big. I got Bryant by 20.
I got Bryant by 12.
Okay. And then the last game that we had to replace one in here, we put Farmington goes to Greenbrier, and of course I'm going Greenbrier. I've got the Panthers by 3.
Did you pick that by your heart?
Of course I did.
Okay. Because
that's why I got beat last year, Junk.
Yeah, you're probably right. I went with Farmington by 16, and that may sound bad because it's a pretty big number, but it's just three scores if you know.
Sure.
I think Greenbrier's going to be a lot better than people thought they were.
Yeah.
Because they lost a lot.
They lost a bunch.
But I think Farmington's pretty good.
They are.
They're going to be coming for us too because they thought they had a pretty good chance last year. Played Valonia tight and didn't work out for them.
We put it on them pretty good last year.
Yeah. So.
All right, so let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 differences.
I got to get some scores from your first few here in a little bit when we hang up the dial here.
Well, guys, we appreciate the support. It's been amazing how many people have reached out to both of us. Man, when y'all start,
I know it, man. Kind of made me feel good.
It's always good to be wanted, but we do appreciate y'all listening and supporting us, and hope to have some fun and new exciting things this season, and looking forward to it.
Yeah, and American Safeguard Insurance. Hey, guys, my kids, they're starving. They need you to buy some insurance, and there's no better place to get it than from the one sponsor of Between the Mats, and that is ASI. Man, good start.
Absolutely.
I'm excited.
Let's do it.
All right, we'll see you next week.
You've been listening to Between the Mats. your year-round source for Arkansas high school sports with Matt McJunkins and Matt Wilcox. Produced by Carl Spears. And special thanks to our sponsor, American Safeguard Insurance. I'm JB Brazil. Be sure to join us next week for another episode of Between the Mats.